Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30 on January 8th. We did see a little blue sky in the morning before the cirrus rolled in. Unfortunately, it came in just too much of the day. I couldn't chance it. If I could have gotten to the Pine Barrens very early, like 9 or 9:30, then I could have had a decent amount of time there. But by the time I would have gotten there, which would have been like 10:30, I would have had about an hour before the cirrus rolled in, right around noon. So right around noon, you could see that cirrus rolling in there, and you could see if you were further north, like in New England, you had a nice clear day. So if you were up here in like Massachusetts, even Cape Cod, you had a nice clear day. Um, you could see the cirrus, but you see this is from a storm system that is passing off to the south. So if we go and we look at our high resolution satellite, you can see this is what it looked like early this morning. You can see we had clear skies, but then as we moved it along, yep, here comes the cirrus, came right in on us, and it started filtering the sun right around noon. You can see very defined shield. If we look at the this, which is what we're gonna look at now. You'll see. I'm gonna rewind this here, and you'll see what I mean. So this is the Hamptons.com camera here. If we can get this to load, and you see here, it was clear right here. So it was clear right here. You can see, and you can see the cirrus coming in right there. There, you saw it. See it coming in? There it is, coming in right there. So you can see this shield coming in. So we can't speed it up. But you can see this cirrus shield coming in right here. It's just very defined cirrus shield that came in. It's kind of unusual to see like a cirrus shield that's so defined like that. There was some cirrus out ahead of it. With some, but not much. So it was pretty very well defined. You can see here again in this image, pretty well defined here. You don't see many clouds out ahead of it at all. And again, if you were on the Cape, you had a mostly sunny day. Massachusetts, you had a mostly sunny day, and we were mostly sunny in the morning. Again, before this, just line of cirrus just came right in on us. Let's go look at our weather map here, and you can see what we got. We got this all from this low pressure system that's going to be skirting by to our south, and that's going to bring us some light mixed precipitation today. And then you can see another big storm in California there. And then this is the next one. You can see it's just a bunch of them here because of this pattern that's continuing. Let's go look at the current conditions outside. So looking at West Hampton, it's down to 25 degrees. Islip is at 30, so we're starting to see again. A little warmer in Nassau County. Even warmer still in New Jersey, where they have thicker cloud cover. I guess because we have a little bit of it's higher clouds, so probably not stopping some of the radiational cooling at least. But let's go take a look and see what we've got. So here we go. Here's what it looked like today, and you can see here. This is Islip. So you can see here. Never mind, it's not clear. I don't know why it's saying clear, but you can see it says broken 240. That's what's going on there. And the clouds kind of actually noting a few clouds even at 11 a.m. But it was clear early in the morning. But you can see temperatures were close to normal today. We had northwest winds becoming south. And then yesterday we had clouds most of the day that cleared up a little bit in the evening. And yesterday was above normal. We got in the mid-40s again. You can see all the clouds there that we had. So let's go look at our highs and our lows for the day. And so we'll first start with the highs. And highs generally right around average, right around 39 degrees at Islip, 38 at West Hampton, around 40 in the city, a little bit warmer in New Jersey with low 40s. Let's go look at our lows. 25, I guess that's the current at West Hampton right now. And then that lows are around 30, so most of the lows are probably the current temperatures. But with the clouds, I don't think we'll see too much in the way of radiational cooling tonight. Looking at the radar, you can see this is the storm system off to the south, and you can see it looks like they're getting some pretty heavy precipitation around Ocean City and in Delaware, and also in Maryland around Salisbury. So this is that low that's also going to the south of us. Luckily, it's going to the south of us, so we're not going to really be dealing with too much precipitation. We'll be dealing with this northern piece that will bring us a slight chance of very light mixed precipitation overnight. So we're going to talk about the California thing. Let's go back to our weather map here And we'll go over here because they're continuing to get these storms out in California. And if we go and we look here, you'll see we still have high wind warnings in effect from midnight tonight till 2 p.m. on Monday. So still dealing with these pretty rough conditions in California here. There were some thunderstorms actually off northeast of San Diego last night as well. And there are a whole lot of power outages from these storms. So if we go and we look at poweroutage.us here, you'll see California in the red, 124,000 people without power. Actually, it's down a little bit to 120,000. It looks like the hardest hit counties are in the northern parts, like the northern San Francisco suburbs. It looks like got the brunt of it, but you'll still see some other areas like Humboldt dealing with power outages too. Again, because of those high winds, caused a lot of damage there. And if we look at the California Weather Service here, we'll go to a San Francisco Weather Service here. We'll see if they have any stuff on as far as some wind gusts go, some storm reports or anything. Maybe they've got some storm reports or something. Let's see if they've got anything here. Oh, we'll go to their social media. Let's see if there's anything here. Any storm reports here. They got a lot of flash flood warnings. So they do have a lot of flood warnings here. High wind warning. But the high wind warning is going to continue here. And this parade of storm continues. And January 9-10 will pack a punch. So the storm's continuing. And we're going to look now at the satellite here and show you what we have that is going to be heading off the west coast. Let me go to the MODIS satellite. Let me go to the earlier one so you get an idea. All right, so here's your paraded storms here. Here's the storm right here. Here's the next storm. And then you can see the fire hose. Look, there's another one over there. That one looks pretty intense. This one here looks very intense. Still a little ways out of the Pacific. But you can see there's just a parade. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 right here that you have. So it's just one after another, and it just continues. It just continues, this fire hose pattern. That's what's keeping us in the winter, away from winter. Basically, away from winter, not in the winter. Looking at severe outlooks, let's see if there are any severe outlooks. They actually have a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms for tomorrow in California, right around from San Francisco down to Los Angeles. It looks like a marginal risk of severe. That's very rare to see that. That's very unusual to see. That's crazy. All right, so that's what we have in there. In the Storm Prediction Center. And so let's go look at this pattern of ours, which absolutely, actually I want to go and look at the West Coast for a minute here on this. So let's go and look at the West Coast. And take a look at these storms that are coming in. So let's see here. All right, I got to change it to the longer loop so you get an idea. So there's that storm that came in. Look at that. You can see that bright white, all that convection there. And here comes the next one. So it's just one after another, after another, after another. This is very unusual to see, and they're setting all kinds of records out there. Very unusual to see, not at all normal. So let's go and look at this Northern Pacific. Oh, perfect. This kind of shows it perfectly here. You can see, and the guy's got a low in the Gulf of Alaska, too, on top of that. Here comes the next storm here. So, yeah, what a mess. So let's go and look at the models, and we will start off with the jet stream and the problems that we're having right now. So this is the fire hose. Here it is. There's that fire hose right there. All right, so take a look at that. There's no signs of it really easing at all. All right. You have some wheat troughs here come in. Here's another storm system that's going to be coming in. That's going to bring us our soaker for Friday. It's looking more like a Friday event now. And then maybe a little bit of cool air behind it, but probably not much. And you can see it just continues. It looks like maybe toward the end of the period it does get a little less of a fire hose look to it. But no troughiness in the east whatsoever. No troughiness in the east. And that means we're going to be above normal, of course. So we'll go ahead and look at the 500 and show you again what's going on. So again, storms just crash into the west coast. Zonal flow. No, almost southern branch trough, low pressure, right? No connection to any really cold air. And you can see it just continues. There's no real cold big troughs in sight here. Nothing. Nothing. This is the 18Z run of the GFS here. All right. So there's nothing going on with that. All right. And if we go and you look at the European, it's probably no difference. So we're going to look at the European now. That's the 18Z. I got to look at the 12Z if I want to go a little further. So European, looking maybe a little bit different than the GFS there when that storm. With that storm, it looks a little different. So that's over the GFS for a minute. A little, slight difference. Slight difference. Oh, not EC Fast, not the EC Fast. Regular one. But not much of a difference. And if we go and we look at the jet stream here on the European model, there's the fire hose. It doesn't really show any signs of the fire hose breaking down all that much. So when you look at something like this, you realize that you're dealing to deal with more above normal temperatures and more rainstorms. So let's go look at our temperature anomaly chart, and you get the idea. There's going to be plenty of warmth across the board here. Back above. Today we're at normal, close to normal, but tomorrow we're back above normal again. Above normal on Tuesday, again highs in the 40s, and then we get and then you can see that much above normal air that's going to head into our area on Friday with that storm. Because the low is going to go over the Great Lakes. We're just going to pull up very tropical air, and it's going to be warm and very humid out there again. And then you can see just more warmth here. Here we are in the next week. There's just no end in sight to this. It looks like, toward the last couple of days, it's showing something that might wind up coming down. Maybe this is some hope. But you got to remember the carrot and the stick now, all right? This could wind up getting, put off, This is the end part of the run, all right? So it's just trying to figure something out here. Maybe this is some hope. Maybe some hope for winter, maybe. But we're going through the entire month without any real cold air and without any big snowstorms. Just lots and lots of warm weather and rain. So let's go look at the surface now. All right, so here's the surface. And you'll see there's that weak system that comes through tomorrow, right? That'll bring us some mixed precipitation, very light mixed precipitation in the morning. Then high pressure builds in. Maybe we'll have some sunshine by the afternoon. The high starts sliding offshore Tuesday, so that's high clouds roll in. And then we have more high clouds, and then no precipitation, but you can see the high clouds will definitely start streaming in. And then see that high that was supposed to build down. I'm sorry, that high is not coming down. If you want to enjoy it, my suggestion is go to Quebec. Other than that, we're going to be stuck in the junk. And then here comes this surface low here that's going to come through, and you can see it coming over the Great Lakes. It's going to pull up all the warm air. LLJ for Friday, heavy rain, showers, thunderstorms, warm and humid. And then another little low forms along it in the evening as this thing kind of slowly moves out. I think Saturday, at least, we should be out of the rain, hopefully. At least it looks like it's not stalling it out, at least on the GFS. And then you can see it moves away, and then we have some cooler air coming cooler, but it won't be cold air, and therefore will probably be near normal or still above normal. And then here comes the next low here for next week. And then next week we might have a parade system. So here's another low, and then another one, and then another one maybe after that. Yep. But then you can see it looks like it's trying to bring some cold air down. So I can only hope that this is right. All right, but this is at the end of the run. So very, it's almost less than a 50-50 chance that this is right when you're going this far in the run. All right, go ahead and look at the European now. 12's the European run. All right, and then we're going to just look at the storm, obviously. So this is the storm again. Similar look. It looks like it's bringing the heavy rain in the morning. And then actually the European seems to want to bring it in even sooner. Bring it in like maybe even Thursday night. And then move it up and out. And then it brings the high pressure in. So we'd have dry weather on Friday and Saturday and Sunday with the high building in there. All right. But if we look at our temperatures, I don't think there'll be any cold air behind it. So if we go and we look at temperatures, I don't think this does temperature anomaly. Oh, it does do temperature anomaly. Good. You'll see there really won't be much cool air behind it. Maybe we'll go back to like around normal maybe behind that storm. For more very much above normal weather follows. So it just continues, folks. So let's go and we'll go to the HRRR, and we'll look at the HRRR now, and we'll take a look at this next system that we are going to be dealing with overnight. And again, you can see very light precipitation. It will be very, very light. It might not even reach the ground. All right. So maybe a few flakes. I don't think it does. I don't think it's going to coat anything personally. Um, and I think it's really nothing. I think I'm making a big deal out of it on TV. It's going to be nothing. A few flakes, maybe a few raindrops. That's it. It's over by uh, probably 8 or 9 o'clock, and then the rest of the day is dry. There's that low moving away, and then Tuesday's dry, but you can see that we'll probably have that high sliding offshore, and the cirrus will come rolling in again. I do want to look at some of these soundings, though, and see maybe we might actually get some clear skies. So let's take a look at noon here, 17Z noon. Let's see. Yeah, no, still showing cloud layer moisture at 700, 800, which could keep us stuck in the clouds. So we gotta move a little further away here. Let's move it to 18, 19. Let's see, maybe. Yeah, so by later in the afternoon, I think we'll see some sunshine. I think. Let's look at this here. It's still showing some moisture in some parts, but maybe later in the afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock, maybe we'll get to see some sunshine. All right. Let's go now look at our temperatures. I'm just using the HRRR for this because it's reflecting very well what's going on. So we'll look at our dew points and wind flow. We have a light southwest flow tonight, so it brings a little moisture's not really going to come up that much. And then the winds go back to the northwest tomorrow, which brings in drier air. And you can see again there's a nice dry. Gosh, if I was by Hudson Bay, that would be great. But you're going to have to be up in Maine to get a piece of that. But as far as Tuesday goes, continue with the dry air, northwest flows through Tuesday. But we're going to have to deal with the cirrus, I think, on Tuesday. That's the problem. So let's go look at our temperatures now. And you can see our temperatures here tonight. Probably not going to drop that much from what we're at currently because of the cloud cover. And then for Monday, it should still be seasonal. I think maybe a little bit warmer than today, maybe low 40s, a little bit warmer. And then tomorrow night, it'll probably drop into the upper 20s. And then for Tuesday, did I say Tuesday? I meant Monday. For Tuesday, it looks seasonal on the HRRR. It does look seasonal. So it does actually keep the cool. It does have some quite cooler air. If we look at the GFS here, it's a little warmer than GFS, showing a little bit of a warmer look. So for whatever reason, the HRRR is a little stronger with that cold air that's going to come down behind the storm. So let's go look at the GFS now and look at our dew points and wind flows. So here we are, between northwest flow Tuesday, and then Wednesday you see the flow turns to easterly. That'll probably mean more clouds. And then as we get into Thursday, you see the southerly flow coming. That's going to bring in more moisture. And then as we get into your Friday, this is where we're going to see that LLJ. And you can see, look at that, dew point soar into the 50s, southerly flow. And then once the storm passes, Saturday, you'll see the winds go west and the dry air will come back in. And that looks like pretty dry air for next Sunday. So hopefully that'll bring us some clear skies, perhaps. But I can't go any further than that on this, I think. But you see next week, you can see the deal, though. We have a couple of passing systems here, but again, it's trying to. There's, again, some toward the end of the period there. That's, again, the dew points and wind flow. So let's look at the air temperatures now. So here we are Tuesday and Wednesday. So a little bit above normal during the week. Not hugely above normal until we get toward Thursday. Then the temperatures start rising. Upper 40s, close to 50. Friday's disgusting. It's in the 50s, humid. And then behind that storm, we'll have colder air coming, but not still above normal. Highs in the low 40s. It's Sunday that we might actually have a day that's near average. So the next day that's near average would be Sunday, where temperatures would be in the upper 30s to around 40, which is where we are today. But again, looking at the following week, you could see more warmth again in the picture. So it's just ridiculous. And again, we'd have to wait until this is the sign right here that maybe we get into some Arctic air, maybe toward the end of the month. But as far as the rest of the next couple of weeks goes, winter is nowhere to be found. So now that we've done looking at that, let's go and look at the skies. And this is the regular GFS here, so it's a low resolution model, but you can kind of gives you the idea that we're going to be dealing with a lot of clouds. All right, so through the period, you can see that already. Plenty of clouds. Here we have Friday, Saturday, and then maybe Sunday we have that clear day. But then by Monday, the cirrus comes back in again. And then we'd have to wait until maybe a more substantial cold front. Maybe then, maybe toward the end of the week, maybe, but end of the month. I mean, but not a whole lot of clear days. We did again have this morning. If you got out there really early, you could have enjoyed it. But let's use the higher resolution models now. Let's shift over to the RGM. All right, this is the RGM. All right, so this is the RGM for overnight into tomorrow. And you see tomorrow, it slowly breaks the clouds up, but the sun probably won't come out until probably 12, 1 o'clock, depending on where you are. Best chances are Long Island west of Riverhead and New Jersey north and west of Tom's River probably, and then clear it out. It's nice and clear over the night, and then here we go Tuesday. Here comes the cirrus. It's going to roll in on us pretty quick probably, and then here we are Wednesday, and it's showing again some cirrus and some and some lower clouds too in there as well. And again, this is the RGM model. Let's go to the NAM next. We have the 0Z NAM in, and we can use the NAM at least to look at tomorrow as far as the clouds go. So you can see NAM a little more aggressive with the clouds, having trouble, a little less likely to clear it out. And here we are Tuesday dealing with the high clouds. So again, hard to get a clear sky in this pattern. Very hard to do. It's really a horrible pattern to be in. So I guess the next model we can go, and we'll just move it over to the Ventus Sky site now, because this will give us the visualization of the HRRR sky situation. So let's move this over to the 9th, just tomorrow. So 9 in the morning, socked in. 11, starting to try to clear it out over Long Island. Noon, looks like over Long Island we try to clear it out a little bit around noon. 1 o'clock. But there's still some level moisture at certain levels, so you still may have clouds around tomorrow. Still showing some clouds. And then as we go into Tuesday, I'm sure it's going to roll the junk right in on us, right? Yep, here it is. So, it's just horrible. You can't get one clear sunny day. Unless, like I said, today was clear and sunny in the morning. But again, a whole entire day with the sun out. It's too much to ask for, I guess, in this horrible pattern that we're in. So let me go now look at California, because we're not completely done yet. I want to look at California, and we're going to change this over to California. Here we'll go to the regions here and just show you what they're dealing with out west with these storms, which is ridiculous. Let me get a little closer maybe. Western U.S. All right. We have northwest U.S. Yeah, it's too far to the north. I have to use just western, I guess. All right. So you're looking at the western, and we're looking at the NAM. And we are going to switch this over to the HRRR, actually. Show you the HRRR. And the next storms that will be rolling in. So another big storm for tomorrow coming in. You can see all that rain, another atmospheric river, so to speak. It's ridiculous what's going on. It really is. And then look at that. Behind that, here comes another one for Tuesday. So it's just one after another, after another, after another. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. So it's one after another, after another, after another. Now we're going to go and we're going to actually move the Ventus Sky over here. Go back to here and change this to wind gusts. And move this over here so we can get a chance to visualize these storms. So here we are. Here's tomorrow's storm. All right, so you can see the wind gusts here gusting to the 50s. Just crazy amounts of wind here coming in. And more rain, too, of course. Just show you that, too. So these are the winds that'll be coming in with this pretty strong winds. Actually, north of L.A., it looks like they're going to see some pretty strong winds. And then they have that convective outlook, too. So we can look at Cape. And again, it's just remarkable what's going on in California. California, you're not supposed to have constant rainy weather like this. This is very unusual. The Cape isn't terrible, but it's there. It's there. Move this over to Tuesday. That's going to go to the GFS, I guess. But let's go back to the wind here. So here is the next storm here. Look at some of these winds. Here comes the next one for Tuesday. Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Look at the mountains. Some of these wind gusts could get up very high. So, yeah, really, really bad situation for that area of the country, Not supposed to see that kind of weather in California, but hey, this is climate change. This is what we're dealing with. We can also visualize the winds on here too. Um, let's do total accumulated precip. So let's see how much rain is going to fall between now and Tuesday night. And look at this. We've got another 4 or 5 inches of rain to fall in California. And some areas of liquid equivalent over a foot in the mountains. And now you know how much snow that's going to produce? Well, let's take a look and see. Total snowfall. No, I don't mean sounding. I mean total snowfall. Look at that. Wow, that's going to be a lot. 18 inches. But there's going to be some warm air coming with this. So I think, let's see, if we look at the temperatures, it doesn't really show that well, but, you can see this, 50s. I mean, not warm, but, I mean, it's not cold air, so it's tropical air coming in. So even in certain high elevations, you could actually see rainfall, right, on top of the snow that they've gotten. So that's going to lead to avalanches and mudslides and all kinds of problems out there. So the hell for California does continue. And again, very unusual to see this, but again, it's all part of what we're dealing with in the new normal of our planet, basically crying out for help, but nobody is listening. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thank you for watching and have a good night.